The piston cup.
Hey. What? Did you just do that?
Yes.
How?
The flint and tinder is a Tony favorite. Albert.
What's up?
What are we doing?
Hello everybody and welcome to the Netherblock, the show where we build a 64x64x64 block of nether in Minecraft.
It's over here. I'm Joe.
I'm Tony.
I'm Komette.
I'm Al. Let's all try to say our names on top of each other a little bit better
I'm
next
Joe.
time.
Let's actually try that, like, on three. 1, 2, 3.
I'm Komette.
Al.
I'm Joe.
Tony.
Fantastic.
Good job, team. Way to do
Our
it.
Bob
you.
spawner needs to be closer to the surface.
The what?
Bring you beautiful coordination since 2012.
Our Bob spawner needs to be closer to the surface.
You okay? Did something
I'm
bite
fine.
you?
Somebody put that in the
I
clips
fell.
folder.
I fell a bit.
Was that from Tinder?
That was not from Tinder.
You want to fix it?
You
Let's
fell
fix
Fell
it.
from
here.
heaven.
Yeah, we have to make it like here. Maybe. Why is it going so slow? Ah!
How goes the
Oh, when you're on
netherrack mining, ladies and gents?
Great!
It's so good.
It's going so well. I'm getting so much netherrack
I
right
know
now.
me
So
and
much.
Tony are gonna pull this through.
I... No, I'm not
You
gonna talk
guys
about
are
it,
gonna
'cause
build,
I've justified
like,
myself so many
A
times.
piston block.
Yes, you do it every time Albert pulls this crap.
And I'm not gonna do... Ah! There's things
Where are you
down
going?
here!
Why are you down there? We don't need to be down there.
Oh, shit.
The true mark of her finally becoming a human echo.
Oh, God, no!
Not engaging with Al.
Oh,
It
bugs.
turns out I was the human echo all along.
all along.
There's thingies down there.
Yes, we don't have to go down there.
The
need to
real
make it-
human echo was the black
They might
face
make it
we
up
met
here now.
along the way.
Oh, what?
Uh,
What did you
what?
just say?
Blackface? So the governor of
Along the way.
Virginia? You guys aren't following the
Yeah.
news?
I don't see how that relates to what we're talking about.
No, you're
But
right. I
everybody
just
ever
have
know
it
what
on the
we're talking
brain. Because NPR won't shut up about it.
Okay,
I
where
actually
is
have
he?
not heard
Where do you
anything
wanna
about
do
this.
So,
about. Here.
I am really interested to
How
hear
big was the other
Tony's
one?
perspective on this.
20 by
The
20?
governor of Virginia wore
so.
blacks, like,
You start one way, I'll start another.
well, maybe wore blackface in 1984.
that where you're
It's
starting
not
right here?
clear if they actually took a picture of him
Can't
or if
go
it
this
was
way.
just
Ow!
on his yearbook
Because
page
it's a
and it was a
drop
picture of
off.
somebody else because there's a photo of somebody in blackface and a photo of the person standing next to them in a KKK hood, and somebody claimed that it was him, and then he said it was, and then he was like, wait, no, it wasn't. That I just was in blackface the one time I dressed up as Michael Jackson, and they're calling for him to resign.
I think that is absolutely ridiculous. That was 34 some years ago.
No, see, but he was a racist, Tony.
I think that's still very, very, very stupid, and everybody was stupid in the 80s, and that's why that decade sucks so
Also,
poorly.
everybody, not to, like, I mean, people, 18-year-olds should strive to not be idiots, but sometimes you're an idiot when you're, like, 18 or 19 in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, your brain isn't formed till you're 25. It's like, are we really surprised that some guy was
I
doing this?
literally wasn't a person, like, the entirety of my life has passed since that photo was taken. Hopefully,
Really?
and I say this.
Yeah, I was born in 87. I was 86.
84 was when that came out. I died.
Wow.
Why am I
That
still
was
on
born in,
fire?
like, 2002.
I died already.
Jesus. You made me lose count because of that.
I think you're. I keep falling in holes.
I'm on fire. Okay, no, I'm not.
With
I did
passion,
20
with
by
love.
20,
Let's see if the bow died.
but now I'm coming back towards you. I think we're missing each other.
I'm also going slow because I have to, like, wall off stuff and fill in gaps and.
What are you guys even building now? You're just building like a self-repeating braking machine?
This
Oh,
thing that's in the
yeah.
arena? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's a perpetual motion machine.
It's one of those useless machines that you turn it on and it immediately turns itself off. Like my wife.
That really confuses cats, apparently.
It pisses them off, and the other.
Al dropped some shade on his wife there, and I don't think anybody else heard it.
What?
It's okay.
I thought it was funny.
I missed it.
It was more
missed
shade
it
on
too.
me. It wasn't intended to be directed towards her.
That's true.
What is
He
this
said it was
referencing?
A machine that turns itself on, then immediately turns itself off.
You turn it on and immediately turns itself off, yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I don't get it.
It's a sexual joke.
I still don't get it.
Like turning somebody on.
And then, like,
How
leaving
did
the room.
Tony make that connection that was that kind of joke?
I have no idea. Because that's
Because
where
I
his
got the
mind
joke.
Yeah,
always
it was
is.
like... I'm sick of having this conversation. It wasn't that good of a joke. I didn't mean it. Like...
Did you do 20 by 20, Joe?
No, I went out 10 because the other...
I
Was the
have
whole
an
thing...
announcement
Is my side supposed to be
to
20?
make.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. I'm going.
What is the announcement, Al?
Al's power bow is no more.
Oh!
Oh, finally.
The lava ate it.
The lava ate it along with all of my other possessions. I am very sad.
Wow.
Where did that happen? In the Nether?
Yep.
Just now. You're right.
A thing, like, I just popped a lava vein, I tried to run away, and I got stuck in it. It was like molasses, I couldn't get out fast enough. So...
Komette, what was the sticky note you had that you were supposed to talk about something?
Oh, I mean, that's
Well,
a good
Al has one too,
segue.
right?
that was last week, Joe.
Right.
Way to be in the meeting with us.
Oh, you wrote down something. I thought... Never mind.
That was last week.
My pickaxe is gonna break. Okay, so I need to go get a new pickaxe. While I'm doing that.
Need to get a new Valentine.
Yeah, so I hate this time of year. And I usually have a significant other, so it's not like I'm lonely or anything. But the social media makes me absolutely hate this time of year because every post now, not every, but I'm gonna be dramatic. Every post right now is of couples being like, well, when he does this, it just is blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, it's so fake to me because I don't think stuff like that even exists at all. That
What?
it is just hard for me
whoa.
to watch.
You need to be more specific about when he does stuff like this, because I don't know what the
Like,
stuff is.
okay,
and then
here,
what the
I'll
blah,
open
blah,
up
blah, blah, blah
Instagram.
is. Because I don't know what you're objecting to here.
We'll open up Instagram.
Yeah, it's like... Because, like, the only memes I see like that are, like, when he pulls my hair that certain way and stuff like that. So
oh
I'm
my
not
God,
really sure, like...
Tony, stop.
Yeah. We follow different people.
Yes.
Oh, it's
This is
just
weird.
like, so this one's
This
just
is-
a video. But it's just because this time of year, stuff like this comes out of the woodworks, and it's like, I haven't seen my boyfriend in 5 months because he's in 29 Palms and he's a Marine. I was on vacation on California, but unfortunately couldn't drive to come see him. And then here's the big surprise of him, and then he, like, comes up behind her running and, like, swoops her up, and it's like, I don't know, it's like rom-com is all over social media right now, and I
You're
just
mad
hate it.
because this girl's boyfriend came home?
Yeah, specifically only because this one girlfriend's boyfriend came to surprise her. I'm mad at the entire holiday.
That's
you
dumb.
Are you are completely right, Al. That is exactly what it is.
Well, if
Way
it's
to
not
go
that, then what is
to
it? I'm asking you what it
uncover
is.
my mystery of everything that I was talking about.
No, you did a bad job of explaining it, because that's what I
No,
got from
you-
it. So you don't get to be like, Albert, you're dumb, because that's what you thought. Because that's what you just said. You said, here's an example of what I hate. This girl's boyfriend showed up, and she was happy.
You like to look at
They're doing it for the karma, is what she's trying to say. That free internet karma.
no, he
But does
None
it
of
mean
it's
anything?
real.
that, but Al likes to look at one little detail and then not see anything else that I'm talking about. So he's 100% correct.
You do actually kind of do that a little bit. You're not seeing the forest for the trees. You're actually like looking at a bark beetle from like 74 years ago that just happened to die in that particular tree, and it took all of your attention away from the problem at hand.
Yep.
However, I will say that it's being a little bit dramatic for Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is like one of those where it's like, yeah, have fun, get booze, sleep with your significant other, and buy them cool stuff. Whatever. It's not like a big
your
deal
ex.
to me. Yeah. Stalk your ex just a little bit more. Let her know you're thinking of her.
Make a bad mistake with an ex.
There you go.
Yes.
That's the real meaning of this.
Black
Plus,
out
if
drunk
you-
with Coyote Uglies and get kicked out.
There's actually a coyote ugly not that far from me, and I saw a coyote earlier today.
You did!
Yes, oddly.
Oh,
Mangy ass coyote without a tail.
there's
Where?
things spawning already.
Alright, we did it!
But yeah, like if you can't parlay Valentine's Day into like a decent hookup and steak, you're just doing it wrong.
I don't know.
Wow.
I've never gotten like anything for Valentine's Day.
Champion of incel forums, Tony Southcott.
I don't
How is that
understand.
incel? That's the opposite of incel.
You just go there and drop your knowledge on them.
Am I allowed to ask you if that's what you're mad about? Because I wasn't allowed to
I
say
just
the other
think-
thing was the problem.
No, that's exactly like my point is that I don't think the behavior that is portrayed on social media, especially this time of year, I'm not saying that it's not around like the majority of the year, I don't think it exists. I think
You
it's
don't
fake.
think people do special things for Valentine's Day for their significant others?
No.
I think most of the problem here is that you have had people that don't like put in that like special effort for sentimental holidays.
I don't think
And while-
I don't think like love in the sense that people talk about it exists. Like at all.
Yeah, that's mostly a personal problem.
Yeah, that's
just what it is. That's
horrible.
I know, it's awful. It's heartbreaking.
It's more just unfortunate that you've never got to experience it.
Like I don't
Like,
it's
I've written, like, thousands-
it's fantasy. It's fantasy like dragons are fantasy. Like the behaviors portrayed in romantic comedies and all that stuff is fantasy.
Yeah,
That's
but I also did like
accurate.
ridiculous stuff. I'm like a full-on like, as Al would call me. What do you usually say? Like crunchy or crispy or like no, crusty is what you usually describe me
yeah.
as.
Something.
Yeah, like crusty. And even I've written at least 200 love poems and things for girlfriends.
Yeah, I've done.
Okay, Tony, you actually, believe it or not, are way out of the other end of the spectrum
Yeah.
here, because that's also not normal.
200 is
Yeah.
a lot, but I've written some poems to some girls.
Oh my god, people.
What?
They're bad, but the girls always appreciate it because you put effort in.
Yeah,
And plagiarism
like,
is the thing because nobody's going to Google a love poem.
I would. Be like,
Let
first
me-
off,
let
your
me-
form sucks.
Yeah, let me
The meter is terrible.
check this real quick.
I only had that from the girl that was an English major. I did get a little bit of that. She was like, you weren't using proper iambic pentameter here. I was like,
I'd
yeah.
be like, you're never getting one of these ever again.
You apparently never have gotten one to the point
I
where you
haven't.
think it's. I mean,
I don't think like romantic like that type of love where you would like cross countries or the stuff that they portray in movies and stuff, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
And your pets
That's
are
just
like
a
your
jaded
kids.
thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said, and your
That's
pets
just
are
a
like your
jaded
kids.
thing.
Maybe. I just
Before you have kids, your pets are like your kids, Al. It's a bridge. You get there eventually.
Yeah, but I wouldn't cross the country for my pet. I would for my kids, and I would for my wife.
I know a lot of people that would cross the country for their pet. Like, I've known
Yeah.
people that have literally, like, driven to Wisconsin from Colorado to get their cat.
yeah.
Like, people do that sort of stuff.
So Komette just said, like, yeah, like she definitely believes in that, but like a road trip to meet the person who you think is the love of your life is unrealistic.
I was talking from personal experience, and then he got
Yeah,
dumped.
Al came to Colorado and got dumped.
I did. Yeah, I didn't give up on love though.
I don't know.
Yeah, but love is different for you because, like, you look at love in, like, a robotic sense where
Yeah.
you just plug in and
It's
it's
very
okay
transactional.
because you are loved. Yeah.
See, that's the type of love that I think exists. That type of love.
Boring, pale, pasty Albert Love.
Yeah, what are you
Yes.
what are you saying about my love
It's
for my
a
wife and my children?
I'm not
not
talking
as strong
about
as-
I'm not talking about love for your children because I think that 100% exists. I'm talking about the romantic love that's portrayed in like movies. Like,
Everything is a little bit more exciting in the movies, but to say what you're saying is,
It's
I've
fantasy.
seen an
That's
action
all I'm
movie
saying.
and it seemed over the top, so I don't believe guns exist.
That's not even remotely what I'm saying. That's
I know you're
even
not saying
close.
that, but you're saying a similar thing.
1, 2,
No.
4.
I just think it's closer to like watching Lord of the Rings. Like I don't think that
What
elves
is
exist
closer
and
to
all
watching
that stuff.
Lord of the Rings?
Watching like those
What
romantic
specific
comedies.
act?
Work
The
sex.
what?
What?
Let me try to think of the last like romantic comedy that I watched.
Well, romantic comedies are just poorly written movies. Like, there's barely ever been one that was funny or good. Like, you liked that one with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds?
You hate.
The Proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that there's honestly more love like that than there are people trying to do Lord of the Rings.
What?
Who's doing Lord of the Rings?
Yeah,
That's what she said.
No, I was
Like,
saying that
there's
romantic
there's no orcs,
comedies
but there is
and-
shit love stories.
What?
Everybody has a shitty love story.
You ever see
Usually
Annie Hall?
involving a Canadian and CEOs.
You ever watch Annie Hall? What?
I'm so confused.
No, that's
now.
the
I've
entire
lost
thing
it.
for the
Was
proposal.
it a Jeff Bezos reference?
No, it was a like the proposal reference
Oh,
because she
right.
likes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
she
the
was
whole point of
Canadian.
that
Only
one
be
is that
8.
they didn't love each other really. It was
Yeah,
a, it
until
was
they
a,
realized that they did.
it was a transactional thing.
Okay, this is way too big. I don't know why
You said
you got
you said
20
it was
by
a
20.
That's what we did last time.
No, it's only 8. Because the water flows until it stops, and that's 8 blocks.
Okay, well whatever. Then it's already done. 8. I thought it was 20 by 20.
But as far as like head over heels, like stupid love, like that definitely exists. Like I've experienced that like 2 different times, and it's ridiculous, and it's really stupid, and it's overrated, but it's awesome at the time.
I don't know. I really don't think, and this is probably the jadedness of me. And that's totally fine. Everybody has their own opinions and life experiences and stuff like that. I personally do not think that type of love, I don't think men can feel it. I've seen
Tony
like
just
my,
told you he does. Is this?
but
Are you
I don't think
calling him a liar to his face?
I am 100%. I am.
I'm here for you,
Like
Tony.
I'll embellish a lot of things, but like this is one of the things that I like. I'm oddly a romantic person, so it's very weird.
I'm
like,
angry on Tony's behalf, which is not something I should be doing, but like, it's not
I don't
my
know.
place.
It's like Did I count wrong?
Why
or
would
did you count
why would
wrong?
men be unable to feel that though? Like just because we're gruff and up and more likely to murder doesn't mean that we
and
can't feel that.
I think what it boils down to, and I've even seen this with the type of love that I have felt from men, and I've seen it with married couples. I've seen it with older married couples. Men in general are super selfish, and it's just the like
I
nurture.
would very much argue the exact opposite. Most of the women in my life are a lot more selfish than the men.
See, that's interesting.
Why does it? So now it's a gender thing. You're specifically saying
Yeah.
men can't love.
It's always been a gender thing.
Well, that's
See,
not.
I
That
think
was
this
not
is your
part of the
problem is
original
because you're attracted to
proposition.
selfish men.
That you're saying
Wait,
that.
what?
You're like the problem is you've been attracted to selfish men.
It's possible. But it's not even like just my own experience. It's experience that I've seen in other relationships.
You're
I also
looking
saw
at
my
the
grandparents
wrong
married for-
relationships. I've seen relationships where, arguably, I'm not, the person could be, like, miserable with where they are, but they, like, they're still there for their person, they're supportive and...
Oh, did you fall?
It's like the last 12 years of my grandma's life, she had Alzheimer's, and instead of hiring someone to take care of her, my grandpa every single day took care of every single need she had.
So, and I guess let me rephrase to modern.
They were married for 72 years.
I don't think modern love like that exists.
I think you're jaded and that you're giving up on it way too
you're
easily.
on the, like, millennial suck
just
train.
happened?
You are
What just
in that
happened?
group.
I am in that group. 100%. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not exempt from this.
Okay. I feel like you might be exempt from loving people, but that doesn't mean it's true for all people.
No, I have loved completely
Hashtag not
unconditionally, and I have never ever been reciprocated on that.
But that's
That's
sad.
why I think it's extremely
Yeah.
sad. It's
But it's
like
just
I'm not
bad
saying that
partners.
it's not. And I've seen it time and time again in other couples also. It's just I just don't think it exists.
For you to generalize to the entire world, including to the person on the
Oh,
call who's
please,
been
Alec,
married
you
for
don't
like
do this on a daily
11
basis
years.
with your opinions.
What
11 years?
Yeah, what?
has it been? Okay, wait, 2008. So yeah, 11 years. I don't think we've
Jesus.
actually hit the 11-year anniversary, but 10 and a half.
But you've mentioned time and time again that the only reason that you're married to your wife is because you had to settle. That's not the type of love that's portrayed in all of those different stuff. It's not a settling type of love. This is like
I've
move,
never
sun,
said.
and stars.
Well, I probably have used the word settle, but that's not like. I'm not
You
using it in a
100%
negative
use
way. I'm just saying, like,
Most
if
of
you're
the time, I
looking
think
for
he's
the
laughing
perfect,
about it.
like, has never done anything wrong human being, they don't exist.
Right, but I think that's the same argument that I'm making.
No, it's not.
The type of love that is
love is about overcoming that. It's about saying, hey, you ain't perfect, but like I'm still gonna sacrifice for you and be with you. That's infinitely for two perfect people to find each other. Like, what's even interesting about that? They've got nothing to overcome. They've got nothing to. What?
I just don't think it is. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you saying it doesn't exist doesn't mean it doesn't. That's a very stupid and immature
I feel like
argument.
you keep changing the parameters of what it is, and that's really annoying.
Damn.
It's just something where it doesn't make sense to like feel that, and it's just straight up you being jaded. Not like that's like saying that breathing doesn't exist. It's really dumb.
I love how hurt Tony is by Komette's.
He should be hurt.
I think it's very interesting that this is the thing that is like causing
it's just
this
straight
much
up.
argument.
It's like it's a cruel and mean thing to like put yourself through, and you are putting yourself through. It's because it's like if you've never experienced anything like that, you're either not allowing yourself to, or you're not finding partners who are willing to engage in something that you need and want.
Okay, so that's I mean, if my experience has always been that, then there is and the experience that I have not witnessed, observed, then how is that not valid?
I don't
You're
think.
saying
Here's
that
the
it's
thing.
not
I don't
valid.
believe you haven't observed
very
other
young.
types of like actual functional love. I think you haven't.
Sorry, say that again.
You say you haven't observed the type of love you're talking about, but I think that when you do observe it, you write it off and you say, well, that's not, like, somehow that doesn't count.
What? I already fixed it, Joe. I said it was my generation that doesn't exist for.
I think that's a really weird, broad generalization that doesn't make sense.
Every single person that was born after what year now? Because I was in 85, so...
I think my generation technically started in 87.
No, the millennial generation is 85 to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Is it only Americans, or can people in other countries love?
I have no idea. I've never experienced.
So there could be somebody of your age.
Think about what's it called? Arranged marriages. Same thing.
What?
It's about being that relationship is more about being transactional and about how I need this and you need that, so let's just get together. It's not about being actually in love with that person, and that's why you're with them.
Well, financially, a lot of people do what's called sliding, where they just decide to live together because it makes financial sense, and then they eventually decide to get married because that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's because they gave up on trying. Like, they weren't honest with themselves that they weren't happy in their relationship, and that's why the divorce rate is higher, is because those are marriages that should have never happened in the first place.
There's also, like, I mean, the idea, like, when you like somebody and you want to be with, like, being with somebody that you like is technically transactional too.
Oh shit, watch out.
That you can't just write that off and be like, well, I like them, so the fact that I spend time with them means I'm not a real friend.
What?
Like, what?
I don't know what you're saying with that, Al.
You're saying if you get married for money, that's transactional. But getting married for feelings is also getting married for your own benefit in a way. They're just different transactions. You're using different currency, but it doesn't mean that that's not transactional.
I think any love that is transactional is not. It's just it's not the love that I'm talking. The love that I'm talking about is like think of what's the most ridiculous fucking
Edward and Bella.
Yeah, like that. That type of passion and obsessiveness, I don't think exists.
Yeah, usually
it
that
exists
comes
and
with a
it's not
restraining order.
healthy.
Yeah.
Like,
there are a lot of people that become
I don't think it
codependent and
exists.
everything. Like
there are guys that are absolutely that obsessed with some girls, and I assume there are some girls that are obsessed about guys, and probably you meet people who get obsessed about each other. I don't know that makes a good relationship in the long term.
Saying that it's a good relationship or not, I just don't think it exists. I really don't think it does.
You've
the
never...
thing is, authenticity is important, and like this is why I almost never believe any love song that's ever been written.
So it's the same
it's why I
idea.
think they're- I
It's
think
the
they're
same
dumb.
idea.
No, I'm saying there
Jackie's
are some.
girl
but,
is pure honesty.
What do you mean believe?
like I listen to sad music and it actually makes me feel something. I listen to love songs and I'm like, you're full of shit.
That's what. So
I
that
understand what
feeling
you're
right
saying.
there is exactly what I feel about pretty much all acts of that type of love.
Yeah, but the thing is, there are times where it feels real and where it seems real, and it's not that bullshit, and those are the ones that stand out.
If Tony said, you can't also.
If Tony says it's true, then it has to be true. Like,
it does have to be true. If Tony says he's felt that kind of love, you can't be like, no, you haven't.
Maybe
yes,
that's his truth. It's not my truth.
It's his experience he's talking about. You don't get to apply your truth to his experience.
No, but my opinion is different. Like,
so what,
I can have a
whenever I did
opinion.
feel those things and was like in like that sort of state, what do you think that was?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
So whenever I was in that state, like, what did you think? Like, what do you think that was? Was that me just being an 18 or a 16-year-old boy that was getting laid for the first time and losing my goddamn mind?
Probably.
A little bit of that.
Is that not part of it? Like, I don't.
Like, it's the funnest part.
I don't what do you want out of, like, even Edward and Bella were like sexually interested in each other. I don't do anything about it for forever.
This has nothing to do with sexual. It has. I think sexual.
But it does if it's romance.
That's like at least a third of romance.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. I just
think that to say that what I experienced wasn't real because you've never experienced it is like saying skydiving isn't real because you haven't skydived.
Oh well. I think it was exactly what you just said, is that you were a kid, and
yeah, but it also happened when I was in my mid-20s.
Maybe. I don't know.
What is it?
I don't think romantic comedy love exists. That I'm gonna.
Yeah, they're actors in those movies most of the time. They're not
that's my
actually in
point,
love.
is that it's fantasy. It's the same as believing that dragons exist. Like, it's not a ploy. It's a story. It's trying to get people to believe something that it's not. Me?
Yes.
Why?
We're closing that off.
But I understand whenever you think it looks fake on Instagram and stuff, but if someone actually, like, surprises their loved one by being there, like, I've seen it where a guy comes home and surprises his mom whenever he's been deployed for 18 months, or does it to their daughters,
I'm
or does
talking
it to
about
their,
romantic love. I'm not talking
and
about...
I've seen
to
that
be clear,
happen.
is indistinguishable from love for your mom because there's no sex involved.
Yes. If you're lucky.
What?
That's what she said. It's not about sex.
That was some random one-off thing, like...
No, like, but the thing is, I've been at the airport when people get home from deployments and they're weeping in each other's arms and they're crying and they're so happy to see each other. Like, I've been there for that sort of thing.
But that was transactional because they liked each other.
Oh, I mean, the sex was transactional later. I could hear it, unfortunately, because I took them home from the airport and they were doing the back of the car.
Dude,
but
what?
I've got trashy friends.
God damn it.
What are you doing? What are we doing?
I don't want things spawning in the places we block off, so I'm putting light down and then walling them off.
Is it light out?
This is not part of the spawner.
Can anyone see? Is it light out?
Yes.
I can hear something nearby.
Yeah, so can I.
I also am confused by your use of the word transactional in general because, like, just because loving someone is good for me doesn't mean it's not real.
I'm not talking about that type of transactional. I'm talking about the,
I feel like you're talking about entering into love as like a lease agreement with a car, where it's just like, you make sense, this will help me for many a year, and then I will be done.
Yeah. That's
it is not light outside.
Or, I know, I'm with you.
Damn it.
Or the, we got pregnant. I guess we have to get married now. I just think it's silly.
You think those people
definitely
love each other?
All of it is silly. I think
that there are times where that's a very, very unwise choice to like do the marriage because of kids, but sometimes it's also the factor that pushes it forward. But those people were probably going to get married anyway.
1, 2, 3.
All the marriages I know that have happened because we had kids have been disasters, though. That is a sloppy situation.
Okay, Komette, where do I need to be going to get towards the door? Oh, stand by the door. I actually can see
right
the
here.
tag.
Oh, by the door?
The only marriage I know that happened while in Las Vegas because they got drunk and hung out together is still going 10 years later.
That way?
This way. I don't know. I just, that type of romantic behavior.
You've made that point clear like several times that you don't believe in it.
I just don't. I don't think there's anything you will ever say that will be able to convince me of it.
Well,
unless I were to actually feel it and see it with my own two eyes, then I just don't think people have the capacity for it. I think I think human race is very selfish, and in order to feel that type of love, you have to be selfless, and I just don't think selflessness exists.
I think that it's kind of selfish to even want that love.
I didn't say that I want it.
Also, I think that
So
like
Komette
the
is
thing that I
selfless.
want.
How could I want something that doesn't exist? If I
Oh,
truly...
it's because you're lying to
You-
yourself that it
You
exists.
could want to see
like,
a dragon
That's the main thing.
without them existing.
Yeah, I want to see a dragon.
But there's logic behind realizing that you never will.
Yeah, but you also
You know.
still could.
Yeah, you could
See a
create. You
dragon?
could make a dragon. You could carve one or make a painting.
I'm talking about like the love thing. You could still have that happen to you.
That would be like a sex robot.
You know what? If that
Yeah.
ever were to happen, I
The
will
dragon has a
go
big
on
penis,
to
I guess?
recording to the entire internet and tell everybody that I was very wrong.
Well,
I'm
I
looking
hope
forward
it
to
happens
play-
for you.
Don't hold your breath.
If you ever get married, we're gonna take this episode to your wedding and just play it in
Do
its
it.
entirety.
Do it.
I will legit
Everybody
do
else
that.
has the love suffers long and is kind passage from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, and you're gonna be like, I actually don't believe that exists for our generation.
Alright, dig down.
Okay, me dig down?
Yeah, can you get to me?
Where is your... Oh, yeah.
To be fair,
Just out of
though,
curiosity,
that,
could Scott hear your half of that discussion?
No, but I feel like he would agree with me. Like, Scott loves me, but he doesn't...
well, that's why
he
you're in this
wouldn't-
boat.
No, yeah, like, if the apocalypse were to happen, he would ditch me in a second to go to his family. Like,
how
I
that
mean,
feels.
that's not great.
Yeah, that's not.
You'd keep
That's
up your
not what I would
kids,
think
Al.
of love.
What?
You've said a number of times you don't save children or loved ones if the apocalypse comes around.
I may have said that, but
look after
that,
yourself.
at this point, I'm going to say that was tongue-in-cheek. Like, I would not.
It was not tongue-in-cheek. You were very, very adamant that real people in the apocalypse don't bother with their children. Or
People who
family
survive
members.
might not. I would definitely, at this
Like,
point in my
if it's
life,
kind
be
of the
someone who
road
does not
thing.
survive.
So we're just discounting. So anything anyone says ever doesn't really matter because things change.
Pretty much.
yep, there it is.
Opinions change. Views on life change.
I don't know.
Not much different than whenever we even started the dirt block comparatively. So things are different. I hope that you get to experience at least some of that someday. And if not, maybe you'll get to experience like super great love with kids or whatever.
Like,
Dude,
I
Tony,
don't
no,
think...
No!
That's not what I'm saying.
Jesus
You know it,
Christ!
Joe.
Can we not?
Like,
Gross, Joe?
I truly...
Oh, is that where you went?
That's where Joe went.
Wow.
That's what you said!
No, I was
Love
saying
of
that like if
children
you
is-
have kids, you'll
He did not
understand.
say love of children, David. He said, I hope you get to experience super great love with kids, which...
Of kids.
That's not what I was saying.
Joe's
You know it,
tarnishing him.
Joe. Yeah, I think Joe's just trying to like add some levity to this weird conversation.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
I
God,
truly...
I've gone through so many of these, it don't even bother anymore.
I truly believe that I'll never have children, which breaks my heart because I don't want to be a single parent, and I don't think anybody will ever love me enough for me to deem to be able to have children.
But
that
nobody
believe
in
me.
the entire
gonna send you
millennial
a
generation will
list.
love anybody else enough to have kids either. So
I'm gonna send you a list of
That's why
therapists so you can
millennials
get some
aren't having
self-worth.
kids, Al. It's statistics. Like,
I have 3 kids.
just because you doesn't mean statistics are going down. Like, it's a big deal. Millennials
In
are
America,
not
there's
having children.
there's fewer kids, but there's also a lot more time. They're mostly waiting until they turn
How do you
30,
change the weather again?
which is a smart
oh, I
thing in
can
all
do it if
honesty.
you guys
Like,
give me back my powers.
Yeah, but you can't have
No,
as
you're
many
not
as you
getting
can
your
if you
powers
wait till 30. You
what's that?
can't have as many if you wait till 30.
If you power through, you can still have 10 by the time you're 40.
It gets kind of sketchy for a lady going up towards 40.
My mom
Yeah,
had me
we
when
didn't
she
say
was
the lady was
38
our
years
age.
old. So,
I didn't say it's impossible. I just said, it's less of a sure
Better than
thing.
it used to be, though. Yeah.
my grandmother
it's
was
a-
like 40 something when she had my youngest uncle.
So many kids just to spite Al.
Yeah, like my mom is like
You're
23
fine, Joe.
years younger than her
You can
sister.
keep going till 90.
You could have so many kids with old women just to spite
Yeah,
Al.
it's like Mick Jagger right now. He's still popping kids out with supermodels.
Yep.
Guy's like in his 70s now, walking like 20 kilometers a day and popping kids out. Or sprouting kids, I guess.
That's a workout.
Not really popping them.
Ew.
How do you turn the weather off? I can't figure out the command.
Is it /clear?
Yes.
It's weather clear / weather, isn't it?
It's not a command anymore. They've changed the commands.
Here.
Oh, list.
/ rain.
/ weather.
Yeah, I did / weather, and then it said
Downfall,
here.
downpour.
And it says unknown command, weather here.
weather here.
Well, it's
Pointing at the
it not
command.
downfall?
/ weather space clear.
Oh, somebody.
It has
Alright, I did
autofill on all the... no, it's still an unknown command.
I just did it on
Yeah.
command. It said set weather to clear. Did I pull your privileges
Yeah,
too,
Tony
Joe?
probably.
This is a weird power, hungry, mad...
No, that's a
Yeah.
almost death. That was a lot of wasted nether. Holy crap.
what happened?
Stupid creeper. Just a creeper was on the block.
Oh man.
They blow up a lot of nether whenever they go.
That stuff's soft.
It's like dirt.
Soft.
Some say love...
Does not exist for millennials in America.
I don't know. There has to be people that agree with me.
Statistically
I'm sure
speaking.
there are.
Like, I feel so bad for, like, watching really quality women try to find, like, a
Oh
genuine
my
partner.
god, you're an incel!
Yeah. You are kind of sound fairly incel
I
right
don't know
now.
what that even means, so...
Involuntarily celibate. It's the
Except it's like the female version of it.
yeah.
Incels
Me?
are people who are convinced that because the red pill philosophy is true and women are only interested in men for they're only interested in chads, and if they can't get chad or if they start to get old, they get scared and
Chads
they
are like
start baiting.
bros, jocks, right?
And
Yeah.
but they not just that, they also have to have the correct facial features and genetics to look right for women to be attracted. It's very like pheromones control everything sort of mentality.
And then they want to lock.
Yeah.
Their other thing is they want to lock somebody down.
yes, ideally they will lock down someone who provides a lot of money, which is known as a beta bucks provider, who isn't Chad, but they just get married to him for the money and then cheat on him.
And that is
And there's
every
so-
relationship in the incel mind. Red
In the
pill
incel
mind.
mind, that's the only way it can go. And they are convinced, the terrifying thing is how convinced they are that, like, oh goodness. So red pill people buy into that, but they believe that through, like, working out and being, like, always your
Alpha.
own man,
Yeah.
you can become a Chad. Yes, I guess alpha is a good way of putting it.
And then you can
One
flip the
bad wolf
script,
study.
and then you can get the women who are like, I want somebody to provide for me. You'd be like, oh, psych, I'm not gonna, though.
Yes. Incels, though, are so buy into this, but buy into it to a point where they also believe they are not Chad and can't become Chad, and so they are forever alone because their like jawbones aren't correct and their eyebrow features, their brows aren't like the correct height and stuff like that. Like they can really get scientific about like this bone structure needed to attract women.
Have they watched
So
that
they believe
video
that they are
about
forever alone.
tongue posture?
I've not seen that.
There's a video. So this is
God,
actually
so-
weirdly
So wait,
appropriate.
I'm the Chad? I'm
No,
sorry.
you're the
No, you're-
incel, the person who believes that it's
You are, it's
impossible
like a
to find
flipped version
love.
of that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the I was actually talking to a good friend of mine, and I think I've actually talked about this on this podcast before. How the potential of casual sex because of websites like Bumble and Tinder and Kick and Grindr
Isn't it
and stuff
Bumble?
like that. Huh?
Isn't it Bumble?
That's
Yeah,
what I said.
well,
Oh, I thought you said
yeah.
Fumble.
She said Bumble.
Oh, no.
No, she said Bumble.
Bundle?
I like Bumble better than Tinder.
Right, but
can't do-
because
I've
of
outdated all of them now.
the ability for casual sex to be so available to people that there's
Oh my god,
not
you're an incel!
huh
A lot of what you're saying mimics incel philosophy very weirdly closely.
maybe
They have a firm belief that because marriage isn't... Because there's sex
Necessary?
outside of marriage, that women can have the Chad experience and then settle down when they're older and just have a baby with someone they don't care about in order to keep their finances alive.
maybe I don't know I don't know if that's quite what I'm saying, but it might be.
Your sound bites are very overlapping with it in a strange way.
Yeah, it's not the exact thing, but
It's not
there's like
exact
some
same
weird
thing, but-
overlap.
Well, what I
have
was
a-
saying is that because of stuff like that, there is no need for, and I'm going to generalize to men because men, is that
Because you're a sexist.
there's no
Yeah.
need for them to have things like relationships anymore because they're able to have
Say
casual
you.
sex that
Be brave and say
Huh?
you. You're talking to 3 different men. There's no need for us to have relationships.
no
Yes.
need for men to have relationships, true relationship, and do all the relationshipy things that needed to be done before in order to court a woman, because they don't have to court anymore. They go
Yeah,
into
but
an
that's the
app
thing.
and they
There's a
swipe
lot of
right,
satisfaction on
and
that.
maybe
There's a lot of satisfaction in actually having that relationship. You don't get into
Yeah,
a
you're
relationship
assuming that
just
the
for
reason
sex.
They do that, yeah.
And also, like, the thing is, I've found a lot of girls that I've liked recently that straight up only wanted, like, the hookup aspect, and they were like, don't get attached. And it's one of those where it's like, everybody's doing it now.
yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
kind of pisses me off in some ways, and I think that there's validity to what you're saying, but I don't think that that's the whole. I think people go through
It can't
parts
have
of
pissed you
having
off,
that,
Tony,
and then...
because nobody actually wants real love.
they don't. There's no such thing as that. I'm not talking about.
There
that
is such a
type-
thing as that,
I don't
and
think
it's
there's
just
that
a
type of
ridiculous
love.
statement. I think that you just need to, like, actually get some life experience in that, because it's something that's great, and you should.
I would
feel it
love
someday.
to. I'm not closed off to it. I just
You
don't
would
think it
what?
exists. I'm not
Albert.
saying that the word love doesn't exist. God.
No, like I think that
I'm gonna
people
replace
are.
the word love with like the word like something Al. I'm gonna just
Replace the
say
vowel
Al
with-
instead of
I don't
love
think
for the
Al
rest.
exists. Yes.
Rewriting
Rest of
vocabulary is
everything.
also very incel.
Yes, that is also very incel.
Or red
but,
pill.
I'll have to. I don't know what. Are you talking about Matrix when you talked about red pill?
Yeah, it's based off
It's-
the
They
concept
took
of
the
red.
analogy from the
Yeah.
Matrix.
But
They claim that they've woken
like
up
there are
and
some
seen the
things that you're
truth.
right about with this. Like it has made it so that people are more disposable, so they're less
It's like
likely
saying
to find
sock hops have made it
relationships.
so things are like, or jazz, or gin.
It's
This has
also
been an argument
saying
since the dawn
that,
of time.
like, in general, things have gotten somewhat different.
You
Not
have to
the
admit, Al,
same.
that your lifestyle and your life experience is vastly different than a lot of people's. You have
Of course,
to
I
admit
would
that.
admit that. That
Yeah,
doesn't
so-
mean that I don't exist because I'm
Yeah, it
not
does.
like average.
They're just like some weird pocket in Pensacola. That,
Yeah,
You're not. Your argument is not that like on average things are different. You say it is not possible for that
I just don't
kind
think
of.
it exists. I just don't
I
think
also
it
think that
exists.
you saying that men aren't able to like do that sort of thing is incredibly sexist.
Probably. I'm not
Like,
going
you
to
just
disagree
had-
with you.
Like I just think that it's a little bit too generalized, and I wish that there were more examples of it going well near you and around you. Although I will say that I think your brother's in a good situation for that.
Yeah,
Like as far as
yes.
like genuinely loving like his wife and everything.
Yeah.
So like you have some good examples, but you also have some really crappy ones. Like your parents' divorce was rough. I remember it. Like my parents like staying together is a freaking miracle considering how much they hated each other for a long time.
that was convinced
it's-
your parents were split up, Tony, after a few conversations with you.
Yeah, like my dad kept it together because he didn't want us falling into a trap where we were stuck with a woman who was a full-on alcoholic. And
That's
like he
love.
made it work.
That's
yeah,
love.
like he refused to let that happen. He kept the family together, and now she's
Where's
sober, and
home?
everything is better now.
Where's what?
Like, it took him 26 years. No, it was almost 30 years of dealing with that, of keeping his family together before she went sober, and things got really good.
Yeah. Way
So
to
it's
go,
like-
Stoney. GG.
Which is
So
that's
it's out there.
nuts.
It's just hardcore.
but that's the.
I think that's the exception. That's, not the
kind
rule.
of thing that Komette I think has dismissed as transactional. It's like, oh, if you've loved somebody,
The word
didn't-
transactional
he
got
didn't
introduced
do it
into this
'cause, I mean-
conversation and not defined well, and everyone's defining it however they want to.
Yeah, like I think
Underscore
that
points.
I don't think he did that for love of his wife. I think he did that for love of his children, which is exactly
He-
what Tony just said.
But there's also the
Not
fact
saying
that
that
he
he
still
didn't-
did
I'm not
invest
saying that he
in
didn't
her
love
though. That
his-
is love.
His wife.
But the thing is, like, he also still loved. Well, he still loves my mom. Like, it's just it was a different situation where like he was making it work because he was not a selfish man. And the thing is, if you have trouble with the idea that exists, and it's the exception to the rule, and that's why it's special. That's why
That's
it's a,
why
a
it's
That's what I'm
major-
saying
in
is
a
that
movie.
that's the exception.
Yeah.
That's not the rule.
Yeah, and I will
That
agree
is
with
not
you on
what
that.
you've
Like
been
the
saying.
like to
I'm
if
saying
you
that
if
Stoney
there's
is
an
the exception, not the rule.
yeah, and
But
if
he
he's the exception,
exists.
that means that it does exist.
He's also quite a bit older than I am.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like I've said, I think this is largely a millennial thing.
But the thing is, like, I'm still going to be fighting for it because I still believe in it. I saw my grandparents do this for 72 years where, like, they were still close, like, up until she basically couldn't function anymore.
Right.
So it's like, I think that it's so important and so good that you have to believe in it. Yes. It totally wasn't the brain plaque or anything like that.
I just drooled everywhere.
Weird.
So,
flex,
like,
but okay.
Yeah. It's weird flex, but okay, Joe.
Hey,
Get with the youngins. We have to be cool and hip with our 50-minute conversation about whether love exists.
I was not intending for this conversation. This started
you
by
just
me.
drop a bomb like love isn't a thing that actually exists.
Not that
we're just
type
like,
of love. I say that love exists, but not the I'm going to go get a moon like rock for. Like, I just don't think that exists. That's what I'm saying. Like the ridiculousness.
Comedy where someone's to get a moon rock for
I'm
someone?
thinking. I don't know.
I hope so.
Right. Well, thanks for listening to our Valentine's Day program.
This has been our pitch for the romantic comedy Moonshot.
I'm very bitter though, I will admit. But it started with me disliking social media at this time because I think it's all fake, because ultimately I don't think that stuff exists.
I can get on board with the
Fake
fakeness,
news.
like Tony said. I'm sure there are some fake stuff, but I can't.
There are some fake stuff.
Can't do the
Say
other.
goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.